Ever since Obsidian Flames came out, everybody's been trying to get Toedscruel EX to work. On the surface, it's got a pretty good attack and a pretty good ability, but in practice, it can kind of be hard to get all of these moving pieces to come together to pull off a successful turn 2 colony rush. But with the rising popularity of Charizard and a couple of new tricks up my sleeve, I think I finally found a way to make Toedscruel EX the best it could possibly be. What is going on, everybody? Hitmonchan here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game online deck tag. Today we're taking a look, finally, at Toedscruel EX. But before we get into the video, please be sure to check out the sponsor of the channel, PTCGL Store. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcgostore.com and use code HITMON for 5% off your order. You get good product for a good price, and you help the channel as well. So I would greatly appreciate that. Now, it's time. We're going to look at Toedscruel. Now, I found a very interesting challenge when trying to put a Toedscruel EX deck together. I just couldn't quite get everything to work the way I wanted. There were so many moving pieces, and just nothing was coming together and getting set up easily and simply. But I think I finally found the way to do it. There's still a lot of moving pieces, but we've gone for a max consistency build that's main goal is pulling off that turn 2 colony rush. So obviously we're rocking our 3-3 line of Toedscool and Toedscruel, as well as a 3-2 line of Cherubi and Cherrim. Reason being, obviously Cherrim's got that spring bloom. We need to accelerate these grass energies into play onto our good pal Toedscool before he evolves into Toedscruel. Then Toedscruel's got that colony rush. It lets you do 80 plus 40 more for each of your bench Pokemon that has a grass energy attached to it. And then it's also got that protective mycelium ability, which basically blocks all effects of attacks on your Pokemon that have energy on them. So in theory, you put all your energies everywhere, and then all your Pokemon are protected from Sableye, they're protected from Star Requiem, and they're protected from any other effective attacks, thanks to Toedscruel ability. And we also play Manaphy in there to protect them from Radiant Greninja. Now, we have 2-2 line of Bibarel, obviously. I also did try this build out with Kirlia, and I also found some mixed success. Wasn't really, didn't really have, I was having a lot of issues consistently drawing cards. I found myself, I was in positions where I just had a low hand size too much at the time. So I've opted to play the Bibarel, as well as a 2-2 line of Hisuian Lilligant V Star Perfume. Lets you get up to any 5 combination of grass Pokemon and grass energy. So basically, getting one Hisuian Lilligant V down can set up your entire board of Toedscruel, Cherrim, and a bunch of energy to accelerate to them. In terms of trainers, we've got a pretty interesting combination going on right now. We're playing 2 Boss, of course, as well as a single Iono and a single Arven, which can search us out an item card and a tool card, more on that later, as well as 4 Colress. And that's basically all of our supporters. I found that the best thing to do when you're playing Toedscruel, or Toedscruel EX I should say, is when you're trying to find cards, you want to make your hand as big as possible, then burn it all down, and then use Bibarel. So my thinking is we see as many cards as we can through Lilligant V-Star, through Colress's Experiment, and then we can play cards like 4 of our Ultra Ball, 4 of our Level Ball, and we have 4 VIP for other search. But I'm mainly saying this so we can play down our hand size with Ultra Ball, with Level Ball, because we can just keep playing them, and then we can draw with Bibarel. We also have 2 Superior Energy Retrieval in the deck, so we can grab energies from our Pokemon that have been knocked out, as well as 1 copy of Cleansing Gloves, which is very, very strong in the Mew and Gardevoir matchups especially. Now, we also have 2 copies of Artazon to help us search out our benched, or our little basic Pokemon, 1 Escape Rope, 2 Rod, and 1 PokéStop as well to help us kind of mill through our deck a little bit. And even if we get energy in the discard, that's fine, because we can just Super Rod them right back into the hand. And I also have 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball in here to get some of our 1 of basic Pokemon out. Energy-wise, we're playing 10 grass energy, and that's it. The list seems pretty standard. You might be thinking, well, there's nothing really special about this list, but let me tell you, I think that these card counts and this card combination specifically makes this deck actually playable and actually good. And this deck, I'm telling you, is only going to get better. So let's hop into some games. You're going to see what I mean, and we're going to get some dubs with Toedscruel EX. Our opponent is calling the coin flip. They chose heads, so tails never fails. We always get those, and it's going to be heads, so I lied. I'm sorry, I did lie to you. It was not very nice of me. Our opponent won the flip, so they're going to get to choose whether they want to go first or not. This is a deck that really does want to go first. We have a lot of evolution Pokemon to set up, so going second, not great, but we're going to see what our opponent is playing here. Pretty solid hand, I will say here, because with the VIP, we got the energy to retreat this Bidoof if we need to. They're going to mulligan, so at least we get a sneak peek. And it's going to be Charizard deck, which is actually really, really good. 4 Seal, Gift Energy. I'm guessing this is going to be an Arceus-less version of Charizard. And yeah, good matchup for us, because obviously Charizard EX, it's a dark type, it's weak to grass, so Toedscruel can knock it out fairly simply. And that's why this deck is pretty strong right now. So they're going to start Manaphy, which is really good for us. It means that they need to put in a little bit more work if they want to get that Mew off. They do start with the VIP though, so they may not even need it. Probably going to get a Charmander, and my guess would be like a Pidgey, or if they're going to get like an MTV, also a possibility. Or double Charmander works too. So yeah, that's the good thing about this, is that they can't one-shot us right away. So we can just go Toedscruel after Toedscruel, and then we can finish them off with our third Toedscruel, or we can finish them off with a Hisuian Lilligant if we can manually attach to it enough times, buying time. So basically we can put them in a checkmate scenario where they have to choose between knocking out our Lilligant, knocking out our Toedscruel, or knocking out our Cherrim, and we kind of just set up a board that way. So that's going to be their start, nothing too insane. We actually have a really, really strong start though. So we're going to start with the Artazon, and we're going to take a look, see what we have. We have one Bidoof in play, so we're definitely going to want to grab our Cherubi here. We do have one Bibarel only, and we also have one Cherrim. We've got all of our Lilligant and all of our Toedscruels. We are down one VIP, as well as, we have an Ultra Ball in the hand, and we've also got both of our rods. We're missing one energy, I believe. Okay, that's not too bad. This is not too shabby. I'm actually pretty happy with this. So I want to go for the Artazon just so we can perform the deck check. Now I'm going to Colress because I do want more basic search, and I'm thinking this is actually pretty good. We want to leave that Manaphy in the active, so I'll grab, I don't know if I even need this Bidoof. I kind of want to grab this Colress and both these Ultra Balls. But that means I'm going to have to retreat this Bidoof now. Maybe I'll just grab the Bidoof, and we'll get rid of the rope and the Ultra Balls. I think that's fine. Because now I do want a VIP pass here. I want to grab Lilligant. I want to grab Toedscool. And I think I still want to bench the Bidoof. The thing is, I don't know if I want an Ultra Ball here. I think I kind of do. I think I kind of want to ditch the Iono and ditch a Grass Energy, just so we can be a little safe. We have one more Bidoof, so I'm thinking I want to grab another Toedscool, or another Cherubi probably, I think is the best bet. I don't know, this is really hard to say. Ideally, we could have another Cherubi and another Toedscruel down, and we would be fine. But I think I want to grab, you know what, okay, we'll grab this Toedscool, because we can manually attach to it. Alright, so we can put this down, can manually attach to this Toedscool. And now we're just going to pass. So next turn, at least we could use Toedscruel EX to attack if we really, really needed to, because we can just attach to it manually and we can go for an attack. It'll only do 80 damage, but that can still be fine. Now, I don't know if the bug is still present. I'm going to tell you guys about it right now. There's a bug on PTCG Live where sometimes, I think it's if you attach Cherrim and like energies through Cherrim to a Toedscool and then evolve it into Toedscruel EX, it counts the active energy as being one of the bench energies. So the way Toedscruel EX's attack works is it's 80 plus 40 for every grass energy attached to your benched Pokemon. So when you have five Pokemon with energy on them and a Toedscruel, you're maxing out at 280 damage. Which is completely okay. That's completely fine. But the key issue is that sometimes you're gonna be, if you attach with Cherrim to a Toedscool, evolve it, it might count your active as one of those benched energies, so you can theoretically do 280 damage while only having 4 energies on the bench. However, the attack does max out at 280 still, I believe, so it's not like you can hit 310 very easily. So that's good, I will say, but just a heads up. Now, they don't have much going on right here, which is actually really good. We should be able to get an attack off. I'm thinking for a start, I might go for the Colress. I don't know, do I want to ditch the boss here? That's basically my question. Like, I'm definitely evolving into this Cherrim here. You know, we're gonna start with the Colress. Because, okay, yeah, so we can grab Lilligant, we can grab both Toedscruels. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, we can go into Lilligant, and we can go for a Star Perfume. So Star Perfume is basically all I needed to get is a bunch of energies, because we have everything else. So I just need to get all 5 energies here, and then we are solid to go. So I'm thinking, like, this is what we have to do. With the Spring Bloom, we have to put 1 here, 1 here, here, and here for sure. So I'm gonna hit done for a second. I just want to take a look at what exactly we have going on right here. So we can evolve into this Toedscruel, that's fine. Now, I think I'm gonna Ultra Ball away. Did we have to loss on Toedscruel? We didn't. We do have our rods, so I think I can Ultra Ball away this safely, and grab a barrel. Yeah, we do have our other Toedscruel, so we should be able to get there in theory. So I'm going to retreat this Bidoof. We'll go into this Toedscruel here. So right now we're doing 240, which is enough. But I still want to evolve up into a barrel. And I want to Spring Bloom, and I want to put another energy on this Cherrim. I want to put one on this Bidoof right here, just so we can draw the maximum amount of cards. Only Dusters and sizes for 4 big cards here. This is pretty good. Not too bad. I don't really want a Super Rod just yet. But see, we're doing 280. We only have 4 on the bench. However, it doesn't matter in this scenario. I'm going to try and play so we can make sure that this bug doesn't matter. But yeah, this is how we're looking right now. We're just going to Colony Rush for 280. Take a knockout on this NDV, and we take 2 prize cards. The good thing about this, 270 HP, if they lead with a Charizard EX, there's our other Bibarel, everything works out. If they lead with another Charizard EX, they're going to be doing an additional 60 damage, which means that they're going to cap out at 240. They could use a Defiance Band to hit 270, but I really doubt that, and most lists are not going to be playing Defiance Band. So they're going to lead with their Mew. They get a rare candy, which is good for them, obviously. So they can get a Charizard up and running here. Also, they can get a Pidgeot if they so wish, which they might decide to do. They might decide to get Pidgeot, boom, and then they get the Charizard. The good thing about this, obviously, is we have Boss, so we can boss up that Pidgeot, knock it out, no problem. Our Toedscruel shouldn't be getting KO'd here. It's a lot to ask for them to have, like, Rare Candy Pidgeot, Rare Candy Charizard, and Defiance Band all in their hand, or the combination of cards to get to that, if they even play Defiance Band, right? That's the thing. So I'm guessing they're not going to. I'm guessing they're just going to lead into the Zard, or they might even go into Pidgeot and just do some chip damage onto us, so that way they can knock us out with the Zard after we KO the Pidgeot. Then, I mean, we're fine anyway. Yeah, so they're gonna prep that Zard. I'm thinking they're just gonna go up with the Zard and they're gonna get to cooking, which is fine too. We have Boss, so if they decide not to go into Zard, we can just still boss something up. But I do think they don't really have another option. They're gonna go into the Charizard, hope we don't, or hope they can knock us out, but they can't. It's actually not possible unless they're playing a cheeky deck. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Thinking this Burning Darkness they're gonna go for here is only going to be doing that 240 damage, then we just return KO with Toedscruel very easily. Toedscruel is just kind of the anti-Charizard deck right now. Like, look how quickly and effortlessly we set up. Very, very easy. They're gonna boss something up, probably the Cherrim. Oh, they're actually gonna boss up the Lilligant. That's fine, to be honest. Burning Darkness, still not gonna KO us. They are still a little bit off. They're 20 off, which is fine. So we can, like, go into the barrel. We can retreat our Lilligant here into our Toedscruel just to be safe. Go into the Toedscruel. Now, do I want to use Rod? I don't want to. I'd rather wait for our Toedscruel to get knocked out. From here, we can Level Ball, and there isn't really anything I need, so I'm not gonna even do anything. I wanted to in the hand now, but then I realized we can't actually do anything here. Yeah, we're doing enough to KO the Charizard. I think we still want to KO the Charizard, so yeah, we're probably just gonna take the KO. Now, the really good thing, like, when I was building my Toedscruel deck, I kind of compared it almost to Chen Pao. There's a lot of new Chen Pao builds coming out using only Bibarel and Excalibur. No Arceus, no Pidgeot, none of the fancy 2-prize support Pokemon, no Lumineon even. It's just straight draw. And now there's a couple issues. I tried to build Toedscruel like that at first, but one, you don't have access to Irida, so I was using something like Peony. But you can't get a Toedscruel and a Cherrim out with a Peony. So that's kind of the issue. So what I decided to do was kind of shift that build more towards Bibarel, less away from the milling, and kind of make it a best of both worlds. Lilligant really helps out this build, because if you're able to get that turn 2 Lilligant, you can set up your entire board in the way that getting an Irida could set up your entire board in Chen Pao. Now, Toedscruel is going to get a lot better when the set Paradox Rift comes out, because we're getting, I think it's called Ancient Urn or something, that you discard a card from your hand, search your deck for 2 energy, and put them into your hand, which is really, really strong in Toedscruel, because one of this deck's biggest issues is that you can't actually find your energy. You're relying on draw, you're relying on the mill of the Pokéstop, on your Lilligant to actually search everything out, but once you're done that Lilligant, it's going to be tough, which is why we have these energy retrievals. Now, they're going into another Charizard EX, which, honestly, this is kind of okay. We should be able, in theory, to close out the game here. We have superior energy retrieval in hand, so we can get rid of this Battle VIP Pass, or both these Battle VIP Passes, get a bunch of energy back, flood them onto the board, do some more draws. We can go crazy here with this Toedscruel. And we can also start preparing Lilligant to be our final attacker in the matchup if they're able to, if we're not able to take a knockout here with Toedscruel EX. They're going to Iono us, which isn't even bad because we are playing 2 Bibarel here, and they just kind of give us the Toedscruel anyway, so we just need to find our energy retrieval. So we can get 1 more energy on this Toedscool, and then we should be fine. We do have Artazon, so we can shuffle our deck and get a better chance of finding that. We also do have Arven left in the deck still, I believe. I don't think we played it yet. So we're going to lead with this Toedscool, and we're going to see what we can do. They get us another Toedscool, so we'll go for the Artazon first, just so we can shuffle the deck, see what we're working with. Don't want to put that Cherubi down. We don't have... Oh, did we lost on Arven? Oh, maybe a surprise. That's probably one of the prizes I didn't think of. We have Colress, we have Retrieval, we have Rod. We have a lot of options here, so I'm not super worried. We can go Toedscool, we can go Toedscruel here, because we just need to attach to it to take the game. And we'll Industrious Incisors here. We get our Retrieval, so that should be the game. We can Retrieval these lads away, get a bunch of energies back into our hand. And now we can attach for turn on the Toedscruel, and Cherrim Spring Bloom can also accelerate 1 to the Toedscool on the bench, and that should be enough. 560 big ones, we didn't even have to hit it, our opponent conceded. Yeah, kind of crazy, if you ask me. Toedscruel EX, insane. Our opponent is calling the coin flip, tails never fails, as I always say. So they're going to flip that coin, and fingers crossed that it's tails. It was not tails. So our fingers crossed are going to become uncrossed, as the luck has hurt us. Our opponent's going to go first. Obviously, that's fine. However, if we are able to get a supporter, it can help us get a better setup here. So not all bad. Has potential. This hand really has potential, but it all depends on if we can find VIPs off the PokéStop. Playing against Miraidon, which is also very scary. However, their inability to one-shot a Toedscruel in the early game, and our ability to one-shot basically all of their guys without needing much energy, actually makes this not as hard as you would think. They do get to start off with that Miraidon, so they do get to start and spread all of their Pokemon out onto their board, which is a little bit scary, obviously, because they can get Zeraora, they can get Miraidon, they can also go for a second Miraidon, probably gonna get a Flaffy and maybe something else. Maybe it's gonna be 2 Flaffy, maybe it'll be another Raikou, maybe it'll be the Raichu. It's going to be the Raichu. You never really know. My opinion is not to put the Raichu down this early, which is kind of why I've actually switched to Zeraora. I've switched my Zeraora to Flying Pikachu V in my personal Miraidon list, is because you do want to be able to put a 4 Seal Stone on something else and put a Charm of Courage on like your main attacker. Here, if this was another Raikou and they hit the generator, you'd rather put the energy on a Raikou than a Raichu right now, right? So they're going to just attach to the Raikou V, and they're going to drop that Path of the Peak, which is fine actually. We don't really mind that right now. So we got to see. We do get Iono, which is pretty good. So I want to PokéStop just because I definitely think we're using it this turn. Like, there's no way around that. We'll start off by grabbing ourselves. We only have 2 Toedscool, so we'll grab a Toedscool. We have another Lilligant. We have our Toedscruel. So I'm going to get Toedscool down. I'm going to Ultra Ball these 2 away. And I do want to grab a Oh, actually, no. I'm going to grab Lilligant because we only have 1. So we're going to try and maximize our draws, right? We'll grab the Lilligant. I don't want to Super Rod yet. I'm going to PokéStop first. And then get the Heavy Ball, which is good. Cherubi and Grass Energy, that's fine. So we can Heavy Ball. And I'm thinking we've prized 2 Energy Retrieval is really, really rough. I'm thinking after this Iono, they're going to have 6 cards. What are the chances they're able to boss KO our Lilligant? Probably not very high. So I do want to grab this Toedscool just in case. And now I think I'm probably just going to Super Rod all of these back in. All of these 3 right now. Because we do need to get a Cherubi down still. So we want to maximize those odds. We can drop that Iono. Hopefully get some more draw power. This is actually, this is really good here. This is a pretty good hand. So we can go for Battle VIP. And we can get down Cherubi. Another Cherubi. I think that's actually really solid. Get both of those down. Now I could attach and retreat from this Bidoof. That's also possible. Because what that does is that kind of forces them to take a Toedscool out. In which case we can potentially rod it back. However, I'm kind of fine with this Bidoof being here right now. So I'd rather attach maybe to the Lilligant. I could attach to the Lilligant, or I'll attach the Toedscruel. It's fine. Attach the Toedscruel, and I'll just pass. This is a really solid hand because it lets us go for the Colress. We have bump to path, so we can use the Lilligant VSTAR power to get us set up. We have the Ultra Ball to grab the Lilligant. This is a pretty good hand. I'm actually pretty happy with this right here. So I'm just more curious to see what they do. They're going to PokéStop, getting an Ultra Ball, but discarding 2 lightning energy. That's actually really good for them. It's a really good PokéStop because now they can Ultra Ball, they can get a Flaffy out, and then they can accelerate those lightning energies they just milled onto the Miraidon or the Raichu. See, now this is what I mean. In order for them to take a big one-hit KO on our Toedscruel, they're going to need to use Raichu, and they're going to need to discard 5 energy from their board. If they do that, especially with only 1 Flaffy out, they're also down a generator. If they do that, we're actually just going to be in a fine spot. There's nothing for us to worry about because they are going to be so overcommitted to knocking out the Toedscruel. The second one can come in and just clean up easily, and they shouldn't really have a way to KO it. So, yeah, pretty solid. Not too crazy right now. And I'm debating, I don't know what they're going to do. We did Iono them into more cards. So it's very, very possible we just gave them a bunch of energy, or we gave them a couple supporters and they're just deciding which supporter to use right now. Miraidon is a very scary deck, obviously. It has the ability to just hit really hard, really fast, but because we're playing a stage 1 deck, we can very easily get set up while also not completely failing to hit very hard turn 2. So you're saying even we're going second, I think we've gone second in like almost every game so far, we're able to actually put up a fight and be in advantageous positions against these different decks. So they went for the fleet-footed. They're definitely analyzing their options right now. I'm excited because next turn we should be able to KO this Raikou in the active. Like I doubt they want to retreat. They're going for an Arven, so they're going to try and do a generator play, which makes sense. They might opt to go and try. Oh, excuse me. I might opt to go for a rope, but they're gonna grab Bravery Charm. That's fine. It just means we need more energy. We just need what's it called? We need 5 energy. Yeah, we need all 5 energy on the bench in order to oh, they get double off the generator, but why? Oh, maybe they have attachment from hand. That's probably why. Oh, they're gonna attack with the Raikou still. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, now they're trying to get their Raichu ready, which is fine. Another generator coming out, but they whiffed that one. They whiffed 2 of their 3 generators so far, which is really good. They have the Bravery Charm, which I don't know if they're going to plan to use just yet. Now, ideally, I'd like to find a boss, but I think dealing with this Bravery Charmed Raikou is a little bit more concerning because they're still going to need to get a bunch more energy on board. They get 1 prize here, which is fine. We have an Artazon to help us put a put another Bidoof on the bench. We're going to leave with this Toedscruel. And now this is time. This is the time to shine. We get a Cherrim right off the top, which is beautiful. Before I do anything, I think I want a Colress first. We do get our other Bidoof in there, which is fine. We grab this, and I think we'll grab this Colress. Yeah, the Level Ball's not going to do too much for us right now, so we can do this. Yeah, I think maybe we can leave that PokéStop here. And because we got our other Bidoof already, so I might want to just get rid of the Artazon and get rid of probably the Grass energy, because now we can just Lilligant for 5 energy and be able. Oh no, we can't. We actually can't get rid of this energy. We need to get rid of a Colress here. That's gonna be a bit rough for us in the future because we gotta have all of our energy. We have all the energy we need. That's actually gonna be a bit challenging for us going forward, but that's okay. So now we can Lilligant here, start Perfume, and we literally just need to grab all these energy, right? Because 5 energy, we have 6. We have touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just need energy from this Lilligant, so that's okay. That's not too shabby. I'm thinking I do want a PokéStop here as well, but first we're gonna go for the Spring Bloom, so we can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energies into play. And then we can go up with our Toedscruel. And yeah, right now we're doing 280 because of the glitch, but I don't want to abuse that glitch. We're going to put this energy on the Lilligant anyway. And I think we got a PokéStop. We got to hope we can at least get an Ultra Ball or something. That's beautiful for next turn. That is incredible because we can Colony Rush here. We can take 2 prize cards on this Raikou. And okay, that PokéStop was worth it. I'm glad I didn't bump that because now we have access to a Bibarel And we have superior energy retrieval, so we can get these energies back from Toedscool. We can use another Toedscruel, and then we can just keep the Toedscruel chain going while powering up our Lilligant to take out any of their remaining Pokemon on the side. That's why I actually really like this setup, because you can just go Toedscruel, Toedscruel, Lilligant, because by the time you're attaching all these energies for free, and then you can, that was actually really good for us. Sorry, I keep getting off thought, like my train of thought is going everywhere, because they're getting rid of the Force Seal Stone is really good, because that could have actually just enabled them to use Raichu this turn. Now they're going to work for it a little bit more. The Ultra Ball is not necessarily going to help them, because what they need here is they're really going to need to hit a generator, or at least have an attachment from hand. The Force Seal could have guaranteed them that. So they're going to get another Mareep down, which is very smart. You do want to be able to chain these Raichus. Lilligant, thankfully, can knock them all out with ease. So from here, they're going to need to Dynamotor. I'm guessing they're going to the Raichu now. If they have an attachment from hand, they do have the attack, but the board is going to be in such a terrible state that I don't know if they'll be able to recover from that. Right now in hand, we have everything we need. We have the Ultra Ball, we can get that Bibarel. If they were to even boss Cherrim, that's fine. That's one of the other things I absolutely love about Toedscruel, is that with Cherrim, you put everything into play, like, instantaneously. You flood your board with energy, so it's not even worth it for them to boss the Cherrim, because why would they? You already have all your energy in play, so it makes it easier to come back after. They're going to drop that Path of the Peak, which is completely fine. Toedscruel ability is not doing anything for us right now. We have everything we need in the hand, which is really, really good. So they're going to do that completely fine. Discard all your energy, my friend. That's okay. That's okay. We have everything we need right here, because we can take out this Raichu fairly simply. And then to recover is going to be hard for them. So we get our other Toedscool. So this is good. I want to Ultra Ball first. Grab our Bibarel. We do need that. We just need like a decent Bibarel draw. We need a decent Bibarel draw. Because what we need is like another way to search Pokemon. Or just grab the Toedscruel, that's fine. We'll superior energy retrieval first, get rid of the VIP, get rid of this Bibarel, and we get 3 energy, which is more than enough, because we can Spring Bloom 1 onto this Toedscool, 1 onto our Toedscruel, and I think that's it. I do think I want to actually get the Lilligant powered up as well. So we'll evolve here, absolutely. I think I do want to get this Lilligant. However, we had the other Toedscruel in hand, so maybe it's just better to attach to this one on the bench. I think that's probably better, because we just used our other Toedscruel and we win the game. Yes, we'll do that, and then we can Colony Rush, baby. Colony Rush for a big 280, and we knock out this Raichu. Now see, this is what I was talking about. They've put Path in play as well, right? So they can't tandem unit for another Raichu. I always confuse Raichu. They can't tandem unit for another one. And basically, the whole, like, they can't grab another one right now, so they need to bump their own stadium or just have the Raichu in hand, get double Flaffy, 2 off their last generator, and an attachment from hand to knock out this Toedscruel. So they need a Raichu, like this has to be in hand or off of a supporter. They need a Raichu V, a Flaffy, an energy, and a generator, and that generator needs to hit 2 energies. When 8 are discarded, most of Miraidon lists will play 14 or 13, so out of 5 energies in the deck, actually 4 energy, because one of them is going to have to be attached from hand. So those odds are pretty wonky. However, if they can rip like a clean research, they might actually be able to hit it with ease, but that's their only out right now. If they can't do that, then they are kind of just done for and over. We have not discarded a boss yet. We didn't even lost zone 1. We haven't prized one for sure. So if they by chance leave the Zeraora in the active, if we can find our boss, which we should be able to, we can go play Toedscruel, we can play Superior Energy Retrieval. Maybe if we're able to discard energy somehow. We can thin down our hand, we can Bibarel, we have a lot of options right now, so we should be okay. Even now, if they don't take a prize this turn, we basically just win, because we put our other Toedscruel EX on the bench, and they can't Iono us out of a good hand. They can't get anything else going, really. Now they have the Raichu, so basically what they need is they need their last generator to hit 2 energy, and they need to have 1 in hand, and then they can take out our Toedscruel. However, that doesn't even matter, because we're able to just go in with our Toedscruel and just say, ciao ciao, see you later, and then just completely destroy the board. So yeah, they're actually going to go and get into Miraidon. Okay, so they don't have the Raichu play, or the Raichu play, sorry. So that kind of just guarantees us the game. They have that basic energy. Oh, they're going to attach to Zeraora. Okay, that makes sense. They attach to Zeraora, they go for the Battle Claw, which is going to do 60, and then they can knock us out with Miraidon next turn. That's fine. That makes sense. But you fail to consider that we have this Toedscruel in the hand, so it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, we just gotta wait and see. Even, yeah, I was gonna say, if they had Boss, Battle Claw can't even knock out Cherrim. There's like a 0% chance they could do anything here. So we get Arven as well, which Arven is pretty solid. I don't want to play it though. I want to find Boss and just end the game here, to be honest with you. Oh, and we find Boss, look at that. So we can attach this energy to Lilligant, we find our Boss's orders, so we can boss up this Miraidon, go for a Colony Rush for a big 280 damage, and take a knockout, taking the win against Miraidon EX, and taking the dub using Toedscruel. Can you believe that? That's insane. That's insane. This deck is actually good. What did you think of my Toedscruel EX deck? I think that this deck is actually really strong, and I mean that genuinely. I think as long as you're able to get set up, then this deck just kind of wins against everything because you're doing so much damage. You have Sableye protection, you have Greninja protection for Manaphy, you're doing 280 damage, 310 against the Pokemon that matter because of our Cleansing Gloves, and it's just, yeah, this deck is just really strong. Like, the only challenge of the deck is the setup. I've had a lot of games where you just kind of start your hand with like 3 or 4 energy and nothing else to do. So I've been considering cutting a Pokemon for a Mew from Celebrations to find that VIP pass whenever you need it, or increase your chances of finding it, I should say. But the only problem with that is you're not really, like, you're having, and that's another support Pokemon you have on your bench, because you need to have a Cherrim, you need to have a Toedscruel, you need to back up Toedscruel, you need to back up Cherrim if you're going in a game, if you're playing against a deck that can attack going, like, first turn going second. Then you need your Lilligant, and you need your Bibarel. Like, you don't have room for an additional Pokemon to be there. So, yeah, it can be a bit tough. But I really do like the way the list runs. I think superior energy retrievals are very good, along with the PokéStop and the Artazons. And 10 energy, I think, is the way to go. I don't think you want to go more. I don't think you want to go less. I do think this deck only gets better as the time goes on, as long as Cherrim is sticking around, of course, because you need to use Spring Bloom to accelerate that energy onto the board. So yeah, I'm actually very, very excited to see the future of Toedscruel EX, and I do hope that you enjoyed this list and you enjoyed the video. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below, what do you think of Toedscruel EX? What do you like? What do you dislike? What would you keep? What would you change about it? I've been Hitmonchanning. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and you know, if you like Pokemon trading card game, I'm sure you do. I do too. I post multiple videos every single week on the Hitmonchanning channel. And with all said and done, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hitmonchan out.